Hey guys, here's how to make this my Melody Vanity. It will cost 782 bucks. So first you're going to search for a block and use the first one that shows up. Clone it and move it over to make both sides of the vanity desk. And then you'll use a half floor panel for the top of the vanity. Adjust it until you like it and then clone it and move it down a little bit. Then clone it again and make it smaller and yellow for this drawer. I made the drawer yellow, but you could do any color that matches with my Melody. And then search for a bottle and use these for the drawer handles. Next you'll search for medium floor panels and put them on the blocks just like this to make drawers. Now search for presents and use the smaller ones and make the bow blue to look like a cute little handle. Now here I used blocks to create more details on the vanity. Next use a half floor panel, line it up right here and then move it up so it lines up with the top of these blocks. Then I selected this yellow drawer that I already had here and then made it smaller and cloned it to the other side for these smaller drawers. And I did the same thing with the present for the little bow handle. Now search for a mirror and get the circular mirror. Then get a ring and adjust it to fit the mirror like this. And I made the mirror smaller so that you could see the ring of light like that. Okay, so next I used bricks to make the ears for my Melody. This part required a lot of adjusting, so you just have to adjust it until you like how it looks. So I just moved them in and out with advanced move, or I made them bigger or smaller until I like how it looks. You also might need to move the mirror out a little farther. And now for the next step, you'll use discs to create the last part of my Melody's ears. And then use a sphere to create the bow, the middle part of the bow. Now search for a rug and use the cat ear rug. Make both of the parts blue and use it for the bow. Now search for a heart chair and use a sphere and a cat ear rug to make the bow on the chair. So for the bow on the chair, you'll make it exactly like you did on the vanity. Just use advanced rotate to move it up like this. And then there's one last thing that you'll need to do. Once you have the bow adjusted how you like, you'll notice that it's invisible from the back, so you need to just clone it and then turn it around with advanced rotate. And now I'm making a cup that will hold makeup brushes, so just use a fancy trash can for that. Now make a makeup brush with a beam and a medium cone. You will just place the beam on the floor and then flip the cone upside down with advanced rotate, and then select the whole brush and put it into the cup with advanced move and advanced rotate. Now you'll create a small makeup palette with medium floor panels. First just place one on the desk and then do another one that's smaller for the blush inside and one last one for the lid on top. And now select the last makeup brush that you made and put it onto the desk. Now to make these little bottles that I did here, I used one glass cylinder and one regular cylinder. This regular one is smaller on top for the cap, and then I selected it and cloned it to make another one. And then I made a little candle by using a glass and the cheapest candle. Next, I made a foundation bottle by using two cylinders. One of them I cloned and made smaller. And then I did the same thing with rectangle beams to create a concealer. And then I made lip gloss and mascara using just regular beams. And then I just went back and adjusted them because I felt like they could be smaller. Then I made a blush palette using discs. So first just place a disc on the vanity and then clone it and make it smaller and lighter pink for the blush. Then for the lid, clone the darker pink part and move it up with advanced move. And now search for stars and use them as little decorations on the vanity. I made them white. Now search for hearts and do the same thing, but I made these pink. So I decided to clone the little heart and put one in the middle of this drawer too. For this, you'll just search for a backpack and make it any color you like and adjust it. Then search for a tree and I made it really light green. Now I cloned